we'll see if he sneaks in one more, but I don't think it's going to be. Cabo maybe Mykonos.
I bought Madden for the Switch, and I've never played it on the Switch before, but it was right before this weekend, and I was like, I'm gonna be in the car, I'm gonna be in the hotel, I wanna screw around play Madden. And then your muscle memory goes to all of the like Xbox and PlayStation things. So I'm like audible in and like changing hot routes and stuff, and everything is wrong, and it's confusing the hell out of me. Like I know muscle memory, it's like X, Y, Z is like I want my guy on the boundary to run a fly route, and all of a sudden that guy's like, run. It was bad. It was bad, and it's still the muscle memory.
Bad ball. Bad ball.
Bad ball. Bad ball.
Welcome to your party, pal.
Not a Christmas movie.
There you go.
I'll be good though. I just don't want to touch it before.
Separated from basketball.
And it'll get easier once he's like with friends. His birthday, and then a month later, I don't like where I'm going. So they know reps and reps. Having fun, clubs.
It's 3 wraps.
So Heather got him some like 2 weeks ago or something to play with. Like his first year birthday thing, and like everything else was kind of a lot. So that was an awesome run last night. We'll look at some other things. My parents ordered him this set of like blocks to put on top of each other. So that'll be good. They come out. Yeah, no, they're coming. They're coming Christmas morning and we'll stay for a couple days. That's why I into see them this weekend. And like I'll see them in 3 days.
His tweet was so early that I thought it was really late. Which tweet?
And my cousin decided she wants to host dinner. Fine by me. I don't have to.
Okay, all right, good morning. Here's your injury update for you as we head into practice. So Jordan Phillips, Matt Prater, neither of those two will practice. The rest of the group will practice. We'll open up Nicole Hardman's window, and he will practice today. So time's yours.
How do you feel Christian's coming along, Coach?
Yeah, we'll see today. Moving in a good direction. I'll know a little bit more today and then certainly tomorrow.
Hey, Sean, you've got this year in your defense so many of these guys that are just aging veterans that have really stepped in for you to play well, guys that come back to the team. Can you maybe quantify how important that's been? I know you get the young guys, but these veteran guys have really kind of stepped up.
Yeah, they have. You've got a group over here, as I mentioned, I think it was on Monday in the press conference of big time, experienced veterans, and you got a group of a quotient of young guys who are just learning what the NFL is about, right? First year players in particular. So it's good to have some of these guys who can teach by example, number one, and then also get shoulder to shoulder with some of these young players to impart some of the wisdom that they've learned over the years just around the NFL and our system, what have you. And some of those guys in this part of the equation are also, real tone setters for us and from a toughness standpoint as well.
I don't know what else you can say about Josh Allen, but he seems to work himself back in the MVP conversation. Just reflect back to what you saw from him in 2018 and to be at 299 combined touchdowns and now an expected father and thrown up on the sideline and what
This is awesome, John. This is awesome. Want to pull out the family scrapbook, and we can just sit down and
Yes.
kind of kumbaya and just page through every one of Josh's days and the journey here. It's, yeah, I mean, you described it. He's a real human, right? And I say that because of some of the things he does, number one, that are up here, and then just overall, the human side to Josh Allen is, I also believe, what endears him, in addition to his play, to this community and to people, around the world, right? Because he's real, and I think that's refreshing in the day and age of, role models in the sports industry. So, and some of the things he's done are unprecedented in terms of what a quarterback has been able to accomplish over the years, and the ways he's done it, and the way he, and most importantly right now, is leading our football team. So, as I've said before, if you're a young kid watching Josh Allen, I mean, you see the jerseys around everywhere you go, and it's pretty cool to watch if you're a young kid growing up watching him play and how he's handled himself also off the field.
In handling himself on and off the field, he seems to have accepted each challenge, whether it's marriage or what have you, in now fatherhood. Have you seen him or expected fatherhood? How have you seen him not get distracted by all these human things?
I mean, he's done a phenomenal job. He does a great job of being able to compartmentalize things, and that's what you have to do. There's so much thrown at you, and particularly a player like him that is as popular as he is, that you have to be able to just kind of put things into a silo, and he does a great job with that, and it's not easy, I'm sure, but he's done a fabulous job of doing that, and that's part of what comes with the territory too of the level that he's at. So it is, again, refreshing to see just a real authentic person that also is the face of the franchise.
Hey, Sean, you and your staff have had a lot of success in adjusting the second half, especially on defense. What's that like for the players, and what have you learned about your team in having to do that multiple times? Or I know you do it every game, but substantially multiple games during this year.
Yeah, it's, as I've said before, a person that was in the league when I was younger said to me and to our staff years ago, hey, it's one thing to have a game plan, but it's another thing to have a staff that is able to adjust in the midst of a game, whether it is at halftime or, second quarter, what have you. That's critical. And again, but it takes two, right? It takes the staff to be able to know how to do that, but also then the players have to execute that, because you can have adjustments, but the players aren't in a spot or space where they're able to adjust and execute those adjustments. And so that combination of buy-in from the players is huge for us.
Hey, Sean, with the kickoff rules changing the way they did it, there was a lot of speculation that running backs might actually be good at that, because it's kind of a running play once you get going. With Ray Davis, do you think that's part of why he's had some of the success he's had? Is he's a running back who knows how to run that play?
For sure, I think that's where you start, Sal, I would say. But then there's other pieces to that come into play. You see running backs being tried around the league. I would say you see wide receivers being tried, and there's certain things that come with that particular play because it is unique that you have to possess. So the vision, play strength, some of those areas are just as important as just playing the running back position.
On that same note, Coach, you guys did a really good job of the special teams game overall. You limited Jones to 5 yards, 3 punts inside the 20, making your kicks. I know you preach it, when that happens, how important is it, and what can it do for you to reiterate that in those meetings and in those rooms to those guys, how important that was?
Well, it's huge. I mean, you try and make sure there's 3 phases to every game, and you try and make sure, you give yourself the best chance to win, winning all 3 phases, or for sure 2 out of the 3 phases. And so that special teams component is big for us, and will continue to grow as we move forward in the season here. So I thought they really played well. To your point, limiting Jones, which it's never about one person, you know, but the unit overall, limiting Jones, the returns that we've already talked about on kickoff return, and then playing penalty free, which was important for us as well. So field position is impacted on special teams directly, so it's an important part for us.
Over the last month, maybe 2 months, is there anything that you saw leading you to believe that Matt Milano still had that type of game in him? Is there progressions that you kind of saw day in and day out?
Yeah, right here, right there. That says everything. He has an elite mindset, and I know he doesn't say a lot. I know it's kind of been talked about, but he knows who he is, and he has a goal and a vision for himself, and nothing's going to get in the way of that goal and vision that he has for himself. And I have a ton of respect for him and how he goes about his business day in and day out. Like I said, I know you guys may not get a lot out of him, and I think he's okay with, again, knowing who he is and how he carries himself, so I respect that.
Sean, on Monday, Bobby was asked about this stat, the defense, allowing 31 or more in a game. You guys are actually 4-0 in those games, and his response was pretty blunt. He said, it's disgusting with us, to be honest with you. How do you view holistically where the defense is in terms of, you made key takeaways against Cincinnati that helped them to win. You've made these adjustments in games that we've talked about, including last week. But, that number of points is tough. It's tough living to continue to give up that many and still win. So how do you view, holistically where the defense is?
Yeah, we're working to find the right combination of guys out there. As you know, we've hit some bumps in the road with just some of the guys being in and out of the lineup through the course of the season. I think the coaching staff has done a phenomenal job of managing that, and then players have stepped up to the challenge. And overall, I mean, you look at the game last week is, what do you do when the moments are the brightest, when they need to stop? 5 series in the second half, 4 stops. 1 was an explosive play, which can't happen, right? Back-to-back stops consecutively to win the game. Stop them on defense, go on offense, have to punt the ball back with giving them a chance to win the game, stop them again on 4 downs. I think that really speaks to the mental toughness of our defense. That said, to your point, yeah, it's hard to win when you're giving up explosive chunks and they're scoring like they are. So we continue to try and spin the dial to figure out what's the best combination of players, of scheme, so on and so forth. So that's been the case pretty much most of the year. To your point, the takeaways in the second half, fourth quarter in particular, the Bengals game, I'm not sure we win that game without those 2 takeaways. So a lot of it's good, Jay. I know you want to focus on the negative over here. I'm going to stay focused on both ends of the spectrum because that's the perspective I have to have and how you get things corrected and we play our best ball. That's the goal moving forward.
With your defensive background, how much do you appreciate what Myles Garrett has done so far?
Yeah, special player. I mean, he's Hall of Famer. He's on the verge of, what's he need, 2 sacks or whatever to break the record. That's a hallmark type of season, right? So you turn the tape on, you're watching crossover games, and Cleveland shows up, their defense, and overall they play hard, they're talented. They're talented up front, they're talented in the back end, in particular with the corner position, and it's a good combination. And then you watch him, and you're going, that's special, So there's only a few people, if that have ever done that in the league.
How do you prepare for special at that level?
It's tough. I mean, there's only so many things you can do, right? You watch people who try and chip Miles, and you're going, and I'm watching the same, tapes that I mentioned earlier here to John, and you're saying you can chip him. You can almost put sometimes 3 people I see on him, and he just runs through it all. He's just powerful, big, explosive, fast, has a feel for the game. So, yeah.
Sean, Josh, you did take a few more downfield shots last game. I know every game's different just based off the opponent, but what can work for this offense when you get the downfield passing game going?
Well, it's a combination of efficiency and explosiveness together. That's when any offense is at their best. Can you be efficient and yet explosive at the same time? That's the combination that you want. So horizontally is important, but also vertically as well. So you want to be able to have both ends of that.
When Trey
saying like, there hasn't been a lot of guys that come back off 2 injuries like this. And, you know, setting that going into the season, has he even exceeded your greatest expectations for what this could look like?
Oh, man, he is, he's, this past week in particular, he really did a great job of playing at a high level. As I've said before, very few, if any, players have been more dedicated, more determined. I mean, let's just zoom out and go. Here's a young man that tears his knee up, comes back off of that the next season, I don't know, midway through roughly, give or take, ruptures his Achilles. I mean, some people don't come back from one of those, let alone 2 of those, and he continues to work. So it's a great example to me for other players out there who may be going through something similar, or young people who go, all right, the deck is stacked against me, what am I going to do? You know, and he has continued to work and push and push and push, and you're seeing that, right, in full color, in particular this past weekend. So we're all super proud of him, and just, you know, proud to just watch it unfold, that type of work ethic, that type of resiliency.
Joe on Monday said that he wants to start the push for Reggie Gilliam to be a Pro Bowler or an All-Pro. What is it about him that's made him kind of an unsung hero for you guys?
Yeah, you hit it, Jay. It's unsung hero. He also plays for us on special teams, as you're aware of, and you know, point of attack. He's physical at the point of attack. More and more, I think there's an increased level of maybe fullbacks around the NFL. Like I've said, things evolve and kind of go in circular fashion here. What goes around comes around. So they went out of style for a while. Now I think they're coming back. Reggie has done a really good job for us, and he's a true team player.
Sean, what was the thinking behind Michael Badgley as the kicker you bring in?
Thinking behind it?
Yeah.
Well, we didn't have a.
Well, I understand that
kicker.
part, but like, why him
Yeah.
and not someone else, I guess?
Well, we like anything, we do a tryout, right, and we just do a workout and we see how it looks, and you know, he comes with some experience, and he handled the workout well. So it was a good workout overall with the 2 kickers we brought in. Tough decision, but we went in this direction.
What have you made of what you've seen of Shadur Sanders so far?
Good player, good young player, off to a great start. You know, dangerous with the tool set that he brings to the table. You know, and he's done a great job. I think their offense has actually ratcheted up since he's been under center. So that'll be a big challenge for us.
In your opinion, what makes James Cook's vision elite? Not just to find the right hole initially, but to find cutback lanes, etc.
Yeah, I mean, it's similar to the question about Ray and what makes Ray good in the kickoff play. You have to have vision. Either you're a burner and you don't need vision, you can just, a seam like this wide opens up and you go and you're through it, or there's a combination of, hey, I got speed, but I also have an ability to see something before it actually happens, or to have wider vision. The landmark may be here, but you can feel and sense out of your peripheral vision where the thing's actually going to be in a split second later, and then you go there. So that vision's huge. James has it as well, and I would say Ty does also. So our 3 backs do a really good job with that. All right, thank you guys.